In this lesson, I will show you how you can move or copy a worksheet to a different workbook. So the difference here from the previous lesson is that I'll be copying or moving the worksheet outside the workbook to another one. This process can be used to copy or move a worksheet to a new workbook that you will create at that moment, but we'll see that towards the end of this lesson. First of all, in order to be able to copy or move a worksheet to another workbook, that other workbook must be open. I will go to the taskbar and hover my mouse over the Excel icon. Notice here that I have two workbooks open, the branches sales and the building management. So both the workbook from which I want to take the worksheet and the workbook to which I want to copy or move the worksheet should be open. Keep that in mind. You need to open the workbook or workbooks you are interested in. The process here is almost identical to what you saw in the previous lesson. Let's say I want to move the Athens worksheet, which is in the branches sales workbook, to the other open workbook. I will start by right-clicking on the worksheet I'm interested in. Then I will choose the option Move or Copy, and I will keep the Create a Copy option deactivated because I want to move it. The only difference is that when I want to move the worksheet to another workbook, I need to open the drop-down menu labeled To Book in this dialog box. This is a list of all the open workbooks, which here are the two I have open. That's why you need to have the workbooks open, because if you don't, they will not appear here. Notice that there is one more option called the New Book that is inside this parenthesis here on the top of the list. I will dive into that shortly, but for now, let's focus on moving the worksheet into an existing workbook. I will choose to place it in the building management workbook, and notice now that in the list below, the list called Before Sheet, you can see the worksheets of the building management workbook, and you can choose where you want your worksheet to be placed within that workbook. Let's say I will choose to move it to the end of the list. I will click OK, and notice that Excel moved me to the building management workbook, and the Athens worksheet has been added as the last worksheet in this workbook. I will go to the taskbar and I will use this icon here to click on the branches sales workbook to return there. Notice that the Athens worksheet is no longer here because it has been moved to the other open workbook, the building management one. If you now want to copy a worksheet into another workbook, the process is almost identical. Through the taskbar, I will return to the building management workbook. I will go to the proportions worksheet, and I will right-click on it. From the options available, I will choose again Move or Copy, and this time I will check the Create a Copy option. From the list of open worksheets, I will choose the branches sales worksheet, which is the other open workbook at this time, and I will click OK here. Now the proportions worksheet has been copied into the branches sales workbook. However, the original worksheet still remains in the building management workbook because in this case I chose to copy and not to move. Notice here that since I didn't specifically set where I want to place the copied worksheet inside the branches sales workbook, it was copied at the very beginning of the worksheets. Summing up, copying or moving to a different workbook requires both the workbook from which I'm taking the worksheet and the workbook to which I'm copying or moving it into need to be open. That's the thing that you should take care of. One more option that you have is to copy or move a worksheet to a new workbook that will be created on the spot. Let me demonstrate that with the Madrid worksheet. Here I will right-click on it. I will choose Move or Copy, and again I can choose whether to create a copy or not through this checkbox. I won't check it this time, so I'll be moving my worksheet. Now we'll open the To Book list, and once again notice the option New Book that I mentioned before. I will select the new book, and as expected, since it's a new workbook, there are no other worksheets there, so the Madrid worksheet that I'm now moving will be the first and the only worksheet of this new workbook. I will click OK, and as you can see, a new workbook named Book 1 has been created, containing the Madrid worksheet, which no longer exists in the branches sales workbook where I took it from. If you wonder which was the template used for the new workbook, the answer is the blank template, the blank workbook. The blank workbook is the default template that is used when a workbook is created without choosing a template. So the process of copying or moving a worksheet either to a new workbook or to one that is already open is quite simple. I right click on the worksheet I want. I select the option copy or move. I select from the list in which workbook I want to place it, and I select where I want to place it, and I select whether it will be a copy or a move through this checkbox. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.